welcome back to another chilly day in the workshop. I'm glad you took the time to join me, where today I'm looking for another project that I can work on that also has value to me. So in walking around the shop, there's one thing I noticed, and that is I'm in desperate need of an organized way to charge my batteries for my rechargeable tools. Let me show you where my chargers are today. So I've got a couple here on this makeshift workbench that I use quite a bit for my projects. Haphazardly positioned over here on the well too cluttered workbench. I got some more chargers. And over here on one of my storage shelves, I have more chargers. Now I think this would be an easier project and a neater project if all my tools use the same batteries. But as you can see, almost all my tools use different batteries. So instead of having to accommodate a couple chargers that are the same, I've got to accommodate a bunch of chargers that are not. So here's taking a look at all my current chargers, and I want to build something that'll support all of these and maybe some new ones in the future. But I want some sort of strategy and coordination to this chaos. Underneath of it, I've got a piece of plywood, and that's what I'm going to use as my base to start. So I've been playing around with the location of the different battery chargers, and I think I have a layout that's going to work and work on the shelf that I showed you just a minute ago, where I want this to eventually be. But now I got to go ahead and make some more components. So as you just seen, I went ahead and used my dado stack to make 3/4 inch slots to put these dividers in. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those into place. Once that's dry, we'll move on to the next step. So our glue is dried, and I've temporarily got some makeshift sides stuck on the side of this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get my nail gun out, hold this thing together with some nails, and then I want to put a board across the front. And then the next step will be to dry fit our chargers and see where we need to drill the holes for the cords to go down through the top and into where we're going to plug it in. So here is our first row of chargers. What I want to do is run these cables down through the bottom back to where I'm going to plug them in. So I'm just going to use my marker, mark some holes where I'm going to run the plugs through, and then once that's done, we'll do the next set. There, now it's time to put the next row on, locate those holes, and we'll go from there. So the last thing I want to do before setting it up is put a coat of paint on it. Not that it doesn't look terrible, but it's made out of like 3 different kinds of wood. But anyway, I'm going to put some paint on it. So while I wait for the paint to dry, I went ahead and mounted a power bar to the bottom. This is where all the plugs are going to plug in when they go through the holes that we put in the top earlier. And hopefully this will be one neat little package that'll sit on the shelf and help me clean up my shop a little bit and organize all my rechargeable tool batteries. There, now just hook them all up in the back and try to make it neat. So here's the back underside. I've got everything plugged in, and I'll tell you what, I can definitely live with that. That turned out a little neater than I thought it would. And if this helps me keep all my rechargeable batteries in one place and somewhat more organized, it's going to be a win, no matter how it looks. And finally, installed on my shelf is the battery charging station that we just completed. I think this is a great example of doing something practical over pretty, but it certainly meets my needs, and it really didn't cost me anything because all scrap lumber. All right, everybody, that brings another episode of Try New Things to an end, where today we took a bunch of scrap wood, put it together for a practical purpose, help us organize the shop just a little bit more, which we could use a lot more organization here at the shop. But anyway, if you got any questions or comments, always leave those below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks again. Bye-bye. So now we're going to take a quick break to thank this week's sponsor. And this week's sponsor, like every week's sponsor, is me, Chris Gladstone with TNT Try New Things, where I have started a new website link partnering with Buy Me a Coffee as an opportunity for you to check out some of the items I have for sale that you have probably watched the videos on me making. It's also an opportunity to sponsor the channel directly, either through buying me a coffee, or, if you're feeling particularly generous, signing up for an annual membership. With that, I'm going to go back to the video.